No, I really don't. I told you it's not. I don't remember what I really didn't think about it because I was thinking about it you said we gotta be here. And then we said, but sometimes it's better.
Yeah,
Just
I know.
for 2 minutes I can
Yeah, yeah,
especially when I
yeah. They could take it off. They can put it down and you can next to me. Just remember being
so thank you so much.
yeah.
And figure out what's and I don't mind, I mean, not mine, I would also love a strategy where you can get a couple of second years from here. So your thoughts, I'll work towards.
What am I gonna say? Here.
Well, yeah, I would just find out. Of course,
Yeah, especially women in business.
That's great.
Yeah. Just sign for it.
Right now, that's the biggie. Yeah. Where else? I mean, that's the one that. Yeah. The kids look at it.
And doctors get it.
Yeah, big shot.
Yeah.
And then goofball.
That's like us.
We officially have a live audience. So that's exciting. Okay.
Different, and we're socially distancing, so I'm coming to you from the
Uh-oh. Well, that certainly wasn't planned. Why would that happen?
hello.
I'm sorry. Why is that?
Hello and welcome. I'm Benita Zahn from News Channel 13, and for many years I've had the pleasure of emceeing this event and joining in with the recipients of the Third Age Awards. But like so much of 2020, things are different and we're socially distancing. So I'm coming to you from the newsroom via video to share my congrats with all of you. Like many of you, I still find myself referring to LifePath as Senior Services of Albany, but a rose by any other name, well, it would still serve so many adults over the age of 60, and so well. 4,000 adults every year, from Meals on Wheels to community dining programs to social programs as well. They'll resume when the world as we know it comes back. It's all crafted to keep folks connected, a key component of healthy aging. As you all know, the Third Age Awards pay tribute to members of the Capital Region who made significant contributions to their community at the time when most folks they thought would be slowing down. You know, that third age? Well, as you all proved, that is not true. You are vibrant and engaged in serving our community with passion. And I'm fortunate to know many of you personally, to have shared laughter, a meal, maybe a couple of miles on a run. Jerry Abdelger, congrats, and he's a great running partner. We've shared the love of the arts. Richard Loveridge, who's also a fierce advocate for people living with the lung disorder, Out for One. Please take a moment and ask him about that. Dr. Earl Zimmerman, who has with great compassion and kindness cared for the parents of dear friends. Michael Tucker, a devoted cheerleader for the Capital Region and a great guy. Diane Hart, a stellar example of staying fit. Jeff Weiss, a dedicated volunteer, even as he runs a successful business. And I'm sorry I'm not there to make official acquaintance with Thomas Flynn and Robert Beston, but I'm sure they would school me well in their areas of expertise. So congrats to you all. I know you shine the light for others to follow, to encourage all to work together so we're our very best. And a tip of the hat to our presenting sponsor, CDPHP, and the inimitable honorary event chair and past recipient of the Third Age Award, Bob Curley. Again, my congratulations to all of you, and stay well.
So you don't get the usual pro, you get an amateur this morning. So so here we go. So good morning again, and welcome to the 24th Annual Third Age Achievement Awards presented by LifePath and CDPHP. Let me introduce myself. I'm Vera Dordick, Board Chair of LifePath for the Board of Directors, and I'm honored today to serve as the MC of this exciting event. I'd like to welcome all of you honorees and your guests. We're so proud, just so proud to recognize you for your outstanding contributions to the community. It's also my pleasure to welcome all of you watching from out there in the ether. We appreciate everyone's continuing support for this event, despite the fact that it looks very, very different because of the times that we're living in. LifePath is, as Benita already said, is an organization dedicated to keeping our older neighbors and friends healthy and safe by providing effective programs and supports to help them stay connected to our communities. As she mentioned, every year we touch over 4,000 older adults who participate in one of our programs, and those run from community dining, social adult day programs, health insurance counseling, and most notably, Meals on Wheels. So your support helps fund all of these programs and other critical ones as well that impact the lives of our friends and neighbors. So now I'd like to introduce last year's honoree and chair of this year's event, Bob Curley.
Thank you, Vera. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and congratulations to the 8 honorees. Extraordinary accomplishments. I want to especially thank you for letting me crash the socially distant celebration today. It's my first come-out party since March, and on top of that, it's the first time I wore full suit, shirt, and tie since that period. For those of you who've been involved in the Zoom and Skype era, I never thought I'd be on 75 Skype or Zoom or Microsoft Teams calls in such a short time period, without having to help my grandchildren to figure out how do I get on and stay on. And as those of you on them know, it's quite often business, casual business attire, which is the code of dress. Sometimes it's a little more formal, and you put the shirt and tie and suit on if you're a guy. But I get used to just wearing shorts under it because nobody ever sees you above this level, and it became pretty comfortable. So this time, hopefully, the pants match the jacket, and we're good to go. This is a unique award. Of all the awards that are given out, this one really stands on its own because one, there is an age limit. The only other one that has a strict age limit is 40 under 40. And I would now be eligible for an 80 under 80 if they had such an award, which they don't. And what makes that even more unique is this is not a lifetime achievement award. So take all of the great accolades you've received throughout the decades and all the contributions you've made and put them on the back burner just for a little while. We can't ignore them because it's helped make each of the recipients who they are today and what they bring to the table. But the focal point of this award is really, what have you all done? What are community leaders doing from the time they reach 60 until now? How do they keep contributing to the health of this great community that we live in? And each one of you certainly checked those boxes. I know several of you personally. Those who I don't, I read the bios and I looked and I said, wow, just like last year, wow. And you all bring such unique things to the table. Last year when I was sitting here, and I don't know if we're doing it this year, but last year it was in alphabetical order. And Dr. David Carpenter was receiving the award for education. And he was being introduced right before I was. And among the accomplishments of Dr. Carpenter, where they acknowledged all of the articles that he's had published and the books that he had written. And my wife, who knows how to bring me right down when I need to get brought down and pick me up when I feel like I'm falling down, gave me an elbow and whispered to me, have you read as many books as Dr. Carpenter has written? So I started counting, and once I get down to third grade up, I have actually. But it just highlighted something that, gosh, that breadth of talent that we have in this community, what people bring to the table doesn't have to stop at a certain age. It can keep going. And for me personally, it was very, very meaningful to receive the award. I actually had dual categories. I had it for business and I had it for volunteerism. Nobody would look me in the eye when I asked them the question, did I not qualify for either one? I had to add two together. And whether they did or didn't, it didn't matter, but I was glad they combined the two, because that's who I personally strive to be. I don't think I would have had the success in my banking field if I didn't be involved with volunteers and see what people in not-for-profits do, and they just motivate you to be better at what you do. And without being involved in the business world, I don't think I could have given back as much in volunteering to the not-for-profit world. So that was exceptionally meaningful for me. But there was one other thing. The year prior, outside of having to lose weight, considerable amount of weight, I was diagnosed with a serious medical condition. And after coming out of it and out of intensive care for many, many, many days, I had friends of mine who would come to me and say, okay, is it time to slow down? Why do you keep doing what you're doing? You know, you've done your share, you know? And you start, and I just smile, and there's no good response other than, yeah, we'll see. And then last year, when I had the opportunity to be presented with the award as you are today, it reinforced why I was doing what I was doing. It reinforces why you do what you do and continue to do. So again, I'd offer my congratulations to each one of you, and thank you for all your mentorship and the role models you are for our entire community. Best of luck in the future and good health.
Thank you, Bob.
We're gonna get a battery.
Okay. So LifePath has been privileged to work with so many wonderful organizations in the community, and we'd like to acknowledge our corporate partners and community partners, as well as today's event sponsors, because without them, we couldn't do this format or any other. So we'd like to recognize CDPHP, Enable Business Solutions, Interim Healthcare, St. Peter's Health Partners, Albany Medical Center, Blue Shield of Northeastern New York, the Masry Charitable Foundation, MVP, and the Walter Borisenek Family Foundation. And at this time, I'd like to invite Alicia Kelly, Vice President for Medicare Performance at CDPHP, to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you. Bob is a tough act to follow. I, too, have been off the circuit since March, so be kind. So I'd just like to say it is truly my pleasure to be here today on behalf of CDPHP. I want to commend LifePath for pivoting this wonderful luncheon into a virtual event so that we can still honor the accomplishments of so many important people and the work that you all are doing in our community. It is our privilege to sponsor this event, as our relationship with LifePath means a great deal to us. I've been with CDPHP for 15 years, and LifePath, Senior Services of Albany, however you want to call them, have been a strong component of the 15 years that I've spent at CDPHP, and I truly cherish the time that I've worked with Monica and her staff. The work that they do is incredible. We've enjoyed a long-standing partnership based in part on our mutually steadfast commitment to our communities that we serve and this great capital region that we call home. For that reason, we are also proud to work with LifePath on other important programs that they offer, such as Meals on Wheels and the Senior Expo. And I'd like to just take a moment to say thank you to LifePath for all that you do and the work that you've done over the past year. I'd also like to commend today's honorees. The accomplishments that you've made in community development, government, business, physical fitness, arts and culture, volunteerism, and medicine have had a lasting impact on the lives that you've served and you've been around. CDPHP is fortunate to have formed strong relationships with many of today's honorees and their respective businesses. We'd like to commend you on your efforts and look forward to many years of continued partnership with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia, for the generous support that CDPHP provides to LifePath year after year. We're so grateful. Now, without further ado, I'd like to ask my colleagues Ed Tremblay, President of LifePath Cohoes Board, and Helen Figge, LifePath Development Committee Chair, to come help me with the presentation of the awards. Okay. She's fixing the battery, but I'll carry on. You can all hear me, yes? Okay. So, our first honoree is a native of Cohoes and owner of J&J Service since 1983. Jerry Abdelnar has dedicated his life to ensuring the well-being of others. Jerry and his wife Diane have 2 wonderful grown children who are now involved in the family business, in fact. Jerry spent the majority of his life serving the community in a variety of ways. He even ran the Boston Marathon for 25 years to raise funds for cancer. I can't imagine running at once, much less 25 times. So in 2009, Jerry took his passion for serving the community to a whole new level when he founded Building on Love, a nonprofit organization whose mission it is to help families in the community who are facing a life-altering medical condition by providing financial support to assist with essential living expenses and allowing them to focus on the health of their loved one instead of their basic needs. Building on Love partners with local organizations, including several Ronald McDonald charities, charity chapters, and it is projected to provide over $100,000 in direct support to families in 2020. Jerry, it's because of your passion and service to the community that we honor you today with the Third Age Achievement Award for Community Development.
Okay, I'll start with, first of all, thanking LifePath for this wonderful, and my good friend Ed, for this wonderful recognition. However, I'm going to correct 2 things. One, 20 years of running the Boston Marathon. I don't need to overload it, just 20. More importantly, I've never been a real big credit guy, and I think this really strives at what that is, right? It's all the people behind me. Building on Love is made up of a great board. My family has certainly been huge every time. I say this all the time, I'm the troublemaker. I'm the one who comes up with the idea, and then there's 50 people behind me who make a difference, right? So I couldn't do this without my family. Certainly they've been huge in everything we've done for years, and certainly the board of Building on Love, which Benita is on, has been big. And by the way, one of those 20 Boston Marathons I ran with Benita, side by side. So thank you very much. Wonderful being here, and thank you for acknowledging us.
Thank you, Jerry. And again, congratulations. Next, born and raised in Watervliet, Bob Beston quickly became known in the city. He served 23 years with the Watervliet Police Department, and he simultaneously owned a body shop that he operated part-time for 18 years. Bob and his wife Sandra then managed Densmore's, a grocery and delicatessen, which they ran also for many years. This is where Bob developed strong cooking skills, which led them to establish a catering service. And as if this wasn't enough, Bob also worked full-time as a plumber for Siena College. Bob's popularity in Watervliet grew over the years, which led him to be appointed to a vacant seat in the Albany County Legislature in 2001. And by the way, he's been reelected to that seat ever since. So he has worn many uniforms throughout his year, but Bob might be best known for his apron that is usually carefully tied around his waist as he cooks up his special sauce. So Bob's generosity and culinary skills, as well as that special sauce, have brought thousands of people to attend the many fundraising dinners that he has organized over the years to benefit many local nonprofits. When asked what makes his special sauce so special, he noted top quality tomatoes and olive oil. So Bob, stay tuned later on because you might want to meet another honoree today. Bob, it's for all your work in the legislature as well as your charitable approach to the city of Watervliet that we honor you today with the Third Age Achievement Award for Government.
Thank you, and I want to thank LifePath for recognizing me here today, and our group from Watervliet that's always behind me for the last 20 years, and we had a great time. We put on quite a few fundraisers over the years, but again, I want to thank my family, especially my wife who's with me here today, and I'm going to stick with the program, what I was advised to do when I first accepted this, make it short. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Now we all want to try that special sauce. So every once in a while, we receive nominations for these awards that don't come from traditional sources. Our next honoree was nominated by one of his employees. So I'd like to share with you a portion of that nomination letter. It says, I'm writing to nominate Tom Flynn for the Third Age Achievement Award in Business. Tom is the CEO and president of Yeager Flynn Associates, Inc., which was founded in 1988. Tom is just as energetic now as he was when I started working for him 10 years ago, taking steps 2 at a time and never taking the elevator. He works tirelessly for his employees and our clients. He recognizes us all as the cornerstone of his business, and he appreciates each one of us for our contributions to the success of the company. Tom is not only a mentor, a leader, and an inspiration to me and the others I work with, but he is also a leader in the community. Tom makes a point of sharing his success by making significant financial contributions to the arts, human services organizations, and other nonprofit groups in the Capital District and beyond. He not only contributes financially, but he also gives his time. He is involved in the Universal Unitarian Church in Saratoga, AIM Services, Shelters of Saratoga, Wildwood programs, and even more. In the past few years, Tom and his wife Beth have been living life to the fullest. They've sailed the Galapagos Islands, cruise the Panama Canal, and locally enjoy hikes and outings in the kayak right here in the Adirondacks. So thank you for your consideration, and I think that Tom should get every award. That's the impact he's made on me. Tom, your employees' words have demonstrated the impact that you've had on the community as well as your employees. So come on up, and it's our pleasure to give you the Third Age Achievement Award in Business.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. So you caught me off guard a little bit. Wow. I wish I could give her a big hug when I get back to the office, but I'll have to do a little extra, this. So, congratulations to my fellow recipients, and thank you again to the Life Path and whatever. I want to say when Maria called me and she said, hey, do you want to accept this Third Age Award? I said, sure. I'm not going to say no to an award, I guess, right? I had no idea. I hadn't been following, unfortunately, over the years. I had no idea what it was. I didn't know what the heck, Third Age was. So we got off the phone, and I started to read and do some research, and I was like, oh my God, I almost picked up the phone and called her back and said there's been a mistake, because up here, I'm sure you're all, know what I'm talking about, that, you all kind of pick this age along the way and you lock in. I think mine's probably around 45, so I said, no, I'm still second age, and I'm not in any hurry. Let's slow down the train a little bit, right? And a couple weeks ago, I woke up and I turned 64, and it kind of occurred to me that day, I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, that I love that old, the old pop song, will you still need me, will you still feed me, when I'm 64. I was like, oh my God, I'm living it now, so, seriously, I've just been fortunate, and I've been, blessed to have the means and to be in a situation where I could make contributions or whatever in the community that would be noticed. I think the real people that deserve any award are all the people along the way, including my wife. But I think even back to high school in Key Club, which was part of Kiwanis, where I had a couple of teachers who really took an interest in me and started teaching me right away, so that by the time I got to this age, all these things that I do, they're just kind of like things you do. When somebody wants you to give an award, it's like, for what? I'm just kind of like doing what I was told to do, what I was taught to do. And they're probably the real people that are deserving of this award. And I just say, hey, and I think everybody here knows it. Keep your eyes open and keep your hearts open, and to watch out for those opportunities when they come along to have an influence and be a mentor and be one of the key people along the way that's sets that mindset for the next generations that are coming along behind us. So thank you again. Still getting used to this. I don't know what I'm saying. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tom. Our next recipient, Diane Hart, is a lifelong resident of Albany and a passionate evangelist in the promotion of health and wellness, particularly for the senior population. She's a medical fitness professional and health educator, having spent more than 30 years of her career dedicated to the mission of improving the health and quality of life for all Americans, especially in the Capital District. The City of Albany has even designated June 16th as Diane Hart Day. Diane lives her life by the philosophy that if one wants to live long, they should move. She is president and executive director of the National Association for Health and Fitness, founder of Heart to Heart Fitness, and contributor to the National Physical Activity Plan with a senior population focus. Diane is also the architect and chair of Global Employee Health and Fitness Month, which celebrates the importance of our workforce and their families, as well as the consultant to the United Nations regarding global non-communicable diseases. There is no question as to why Diane was selected for this award. Diane, your accomplishments are many, and today we celebrate you with the Third Age Achievement Award for Physical Fitness.
Thank you, everybody, and good morning. It's still morning, right? We're good. Okay. And thank you to everyone who's virtually watching us as well, because I know what it takes to take the time out to attend one of these virtual ceremonies, which are becoming more common. And thank you to LifePath. A sincere congratulations to my fellow honorees, many of them I know, and Mr. Flynn. Teresa Felton nominated both of us for this award. So we're friends. Yes, we're friends. I received this Third Age Award with honor and gratitude. It is from our community, where I was born, raised, and educated, and work my whole life. Communities are the backbone of our country and represent the souls of citizens, everyone in this room. And Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton spoke about each one of us, because we don't stand up for ourselves, we stand up for others. And that's what's important about this award. Thank you to LifePath for creating this stellar honor, especially Maria Jones, who did this through a pandemic. Wow, good for you, Maria. Bravo. And her tireless efforts in the preservation of our legacy. And that's what's important, because we have to hand down what we feel to the next generation so that they can take over for us. And it's truly the hallmark of leadership. Thank you, Maria and LifePath. To Teresa Felton, my friend and colleague, we work together from Yeager and Flynn, and thank you for graciously nominating me. To all our sponsors have been mentioned. I started my health career with CDPHP many years ago, and now I'm an advocate with Blue Shield of Northeastern New York on workforce wellness. It is their vision of health is the reason that I'm here. And Dr. Bennett was the first person to use the word many years ago, wellness. So an honor to be here with CDPHP as well. I'm blessed to have my husband, Daniel, and my precious daughter, who's watching virtually from Boston. They encouraged me and sacrificed for me, as many of you have your families that have made many sacrifices. I'm also blessed to have so many friends and colleagues in the Capital Region whose shoulders I stand upon today. What a wonderful treasure this award is, and I promise to always be worthy of it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Diane. Our next honoree is an art director, writer, photographer, an incredible storyteller, and he is an inspiration and mentor to many. Richard Loveridge has contributed greatly to the arts and culture scene here in the Capital District. He has been the creative director for the theatricals at Proctor's Theater since 2008, and for 5 years at Universal Preservation Hall. In addition to his work in the arts, Richard is a group leader and a national spokesperson for the Alpha One Foundation. He dedicates his time and his efforts to the support, education, and advocacy for those living with Alpha One, which is a genetic condition passed from parents to children, and it might result in lung disease in adults and/or liver disease at any age. Richard lives here in the Capital District with his wife Lynn, surrounded by wildlife, something that Richard has always dreamed of after having lived in large cities and apartments for the majority of his life. Richard, your passion for the arts and your ability to inspire and mentor others brought you here today to receive the Third Age Achievement Award for Arts and Culture. So congratulations. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored both to be receiving this prestigious award, but also to be in such illustrious company. And I know some of you, and now I feel like I will know all of you by the end of this morning. We find ourselves in very difficult times. In such times, the contribution of our creatives is so very vital to our economy, to the fabric of our communities, and to the maintenance of our culture. I salute every creative, both young and seasoned. Thank you, and please carry on. We look forward to your inspiration and hope. I want to thank the Albany Times Union and Proctor's Collaborative for 23 years of opportunity to contribute to the vibrant cultural scene in the Capital Region. A career interrupted as the pandemic has robbed our region of its theatrical productions and cost many area artists and entertainment workers their livelihoods, their joy, and their fulfillment. I would also like to thank LifePath for all they do for our seniors and sponsors CDPHP, and lastly, the Alpha One Foundation for the dedication, their education and research that has extended my life. And thank you to our audience, both virtual and present. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Richard. One more note, the person who nominated you said you are truly an incredible and interesting man. Boy, was he right. So next we have one of upstate New York's leading experts on economic development and technology-driven business creation and expansion. Michael Tucker has a 30-year record of accomplishment in the public, private, and not-for-profit sectors. Known for his business and economic development skills, he has long been a catalyst in fostering the environment and making the necessary connections for high-tech, advanced manufacturing and energy companies to succeed in this region. Mike is a graduate of Villanova University and the Villanova School of Law. He is a licensed real estate broker and a registered lobbyist. With many awards and board committee affiliations, Mike was and still is a dedicated, hardworking citizen of the Capital Region and beyond. Mike, for your many years of dedication to the community, we honor you today with the Third Age Achievement Award in Business. Say that 3 times.
Good afternoon. It's so good to see so many of you here at Wolfert's Roost this afternoon. I'm honored to receive the Third Age Award in the space age of COVID. Thank you, LifePath, for selecting me and for the vitally important work that you do and have done for almost 70 years in the Capital Region. Congratulations to all the recipients today. It's an honor for me to be included with you, along with the many who have been selected in past years, representing the leadership and the community engagement of so many. I want to thank my longtime friend, Event Chair Bob Curley, and what a treat it was to have Benita Zahn video in from the newsroom at WNYT. And I want to thank the many corporate sponsors, particularly the lead sponsor, CDPHP, the honorary committee members, and the contributors to this event, as well as those who contribute year-long to LifePath to make their work possible. LifePath's work of providing daycare, Meals on Wheels, counseling, activities for our seniors is so critical, particularly during these last 6 months. And as we begin to move into the winter and to the unknowns of the next several months, it's even more critical to support this organization both with volunteers and with fundraising to assist them to help the members of our community who are most in need. When I think of LifePath, I'm reminded of the path of life. And each of us have traveled different paths, and we have had many mid-course corrections along the way. I'm very grateful for the many opportunities I've had here in the Capital Region, for the many friendships I've made, and for so many wonderful experiences. I'm especially grateful for the love and support of my wife, Lynette, my daughters, Megan, Eileen, and Kathleen, and their husbands, my 2 grandsons and granddaughter, all of whom are watching by Zoom today. In these times of political, social, and economic disruption, I am grateful that there are so many community-minded organizations like LifePath, so many community leaders and volunteers who will help guide us through these difficult times. Our collective success during these times will come in continuing to work together with open eyes, open minds, and open hearts. I know we will be a success together in these times as we look forward to the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike, and congratulations again. Next, husband, father, mentor, business owner, and volunteer are just a few of the words used to describe our next honoree. Jeff Weiss took over Glenn Peter Jewelers from his father, who opened the business in 1950, and he currently serves as the owner and CEO. Jeff is a giver at heart, and he enjoys volunteering to help those in need. He's been a mentor with Big Brothers and Big Sisters for more than 30 years. He's served on countless boards, including the Mohawk Hudson Humane Society, Maria College, the Committee for the Holocaust Memorial, and he also serves as an advisor to Eyes Wide Open, an organization to end human trafficking. When recently asked if he could have a conversation with anybody, past or present, who would he choose? Jeff quickly responded that author Simon Sinek, an unshakable optimist who believes in a bright future and our ability to build it together. Simon's words helped Jeff develop and define the vision for his personal and professional life, which he strives to live by. And I want to horn in on that conversation because I'm a Simon groupie. Well, Jeff, your tireless work in support of the community has brought you here today, and we're honored to give you today the Third Age Award for Volunteerism. Jeff?
Thank you very much. I'm very humbled. Thank you, LifePath, and I don't need the teleprompter. Sorry, no political jokes here. Anyway, I went many years ago. I graduated St. Lawrence University, small school, upstate New York. I remember the things we did back there. Maybe drank a little beer, rarely studied. We loved hockey. We had a losing hockey team, but let's not go there. But the point was that I adopted the phrase that I'm in the third period, if you know hockey, there's 3 periods, of my life, the game. But I keep on saying, gee, I hope it's a tie and I can go into the locker room and come out, for a tiebreaker. Let's see what's going to happen. But anyway, thank you for the honor. Part of the reason I volunteer, and I've said it before, is a little bit of a selfish need I have to give back, which started from my mom, who was a Holocaust survivor in a concentration camp, and her surviving and making me feel that I need to be more than just a player in this society, but a person to give back is a driving force. And I, as I developed, and someone mentioned Simon Sinek, thank you very much. I read his book, saw him lecture, and he started that seed in me to say, what can I do as I go through life, even in my business ventures with Glenn Peter, to develop a strategy to help people. But you don't do it alone. So some of you know Glenn Peter has this whole charity component that's very critical to our mission. And I want to acknowledge Tracy Lewis, who's there. She's my COO. And without her, we couldn't have done, and we can't do what we will continue to do. So thank you so much, Tracy, for doing that. Thank you. And in talking to her, one of the things Glenn Peter does, and this is not a jewelry, advertisement, but is to set up a venue to help any charity that needs help. So obviously we fund it totally, and we've been able to help a lot of small charities to the tune of over $3.5 million of give back to this community. So I'm also very personally proud of that we were able to do it. Totally frustrated now with this whole COVID because we can't do it now. And so we have this need to do it, a selfish need. We're equipped to do it, and we're just praying and waiting for the day where we can help the charities and the arts with their fundraising needs. So that's what I'm looking forward to. The last part is, I do have a 98-year-old father, who was mentioned. He's still alive. You know, I look to LifePath maybe to help, but I know they're there, so thank you very, very much. And it was also mentioned, one of my volunteerism things I do is, I'm on the board of the Holocaust Memorial that was just approved this year with the help of the Catholic Diocese. They gave the land in combination to the Jewish community to build something in this community that I believe will be historic. So I want to reach out again in my volunteerism, using your podium, I'm sorry, to say if there's anybody out there who wants to help us achieve this, it's there for all of us to build. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff, and congratulations. Our final honoree this morning grew up on a farm outside of Hershey, Pennsylvania, with his parents and 3 siblings. It was on that farm that he met his first patient, a chicken. With over 57 years of experience in the medical field, now treating people, Dr. Earl Zimmerman has more experience with neurodegenerative disorders and epilepsy than most professionals in the field. Dr. Zimmerman specializes in behavioral neurology, specifically memory loss, confusional states, Alzheimer's disease, other dementias, and neurodegenerative diseases. He has a unique ability to comprehensively diagnose, treat, and manage these conditions. Currently, he is professor of neurology at Albany Medical College and director of the Alzheimer's Center there, which he founded in 2002. He has been widely recognized for his clinical research centered on Alzheimer's disease. In his spare time, Dr. Zimmerman is an avid gardener and is famous for his delicious organic heirloom tomatoes, maybe for that special sauce. Dr. Zimmerman says that gardening is like caring for patients. He does a lot of research, and he treats each tomato as a different patient, guiding them through the growing process every step of the way. Dr. Zimmerman, congratulations on being the 2020 Third Age Achievement Award honoree for excellence in medicine.
Well, I'm not known for public speaking, but I heard a lot of great speakers today. I'm good as a doctor and good as a gardener, but not much of a speaker. So I wrote this thing up, but it's much too long, so I'll spare you. I'm delighted to be here, and thanks for inviting me, and I really appreciate your organization, because our Alzheimer's Centers depends a lot on what you do. We have a lot of patients we take care of and try to find resources for them. So thank you so much. Monica, it's good to see you again. I knew you years ago at the Alzheimer's Association. So I came to Albany 20 years ago, and the timing's about right. I was about 60 then. And in 20 years, we developed a wonderful Alzheimer's Research Center at Albany Med, thanks to a lot of help from a lot of places, particularly from the Goldberg Foundation, which came along and supported us very early for social work. Most Alzheimer's research centers and disease centers funded by the federal government around the country do not have social workers. You can't do this work without social workers. They are the most unsung heroes as far as I'm concerned. They're more important than what I do in the final analysis. We developed a great program. I have a wonderful associate. I'd like to name them all. I'll name Beth Bovin, who was my first social work head of the executive of our group, and now Nancy Cummings has replaced her since Beth went over to the association. So we continue to work with the association, of course, and with a lot of other organizations. The second piece of fortune was that 5 years ago, the Governor Cuomo decided he wanted to have Alzheimer's Centers of Excellence in the state of New York. And so there's about 10 or 12 of these, and we have the one for the capital region. And it's expanded our ability to educate doctors how to diagnose Alzheimer's, to help them manage Alzheimer's disease, and so we expanded our activities considerably. We're hoping that will continue, but considering the present economic situation, who knows? Hopefully we'll get to continue that because it allowed us to do a lot more education. I really enjoy taking care of patients, and I enjoy diagnosing, and I enjoy the science. I enjoy all of it. Fortunately, I chose to be a physician because I happen to be quite good at it. But speaking, I'm not very good at. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Zimmerman. What an amazing morning with a lot of amazing people here today. Thank you for being with us as we celebrate the wonderful work and accomplishments of our honorees today. Now I'd like to introduce Monica Beckman, Executive Director of LifePath, to the podium to share a few words of closing.
Thank you. I'm thrilled that we were able to do this in this difficult time. Before I share my final thoughts, I want to remind you to please don't leave until you've gathered at the CDPHP banner for a group photo. We have them for years and years, and we treasure them dearly at our organization. In March of this year, March 15th to be exact, the lives of thousands and thousands of older adults suddenly shut down. Their meal programs, their meal sites were closed, their adult day programs were closed, their educational programs were ended, their recreational programs were ended, everything shut down. And our organization immediately lost 60% of its income. At that point, we had one goal and one goal only, and that is to keep our staff on board to be able to continue to reach out to these seniors. And we were blessed. Within 10 days, we raised $70,000. We've gotten support ever since to be able to keep the staff on hand. Over the last few months, we've made more than 7,000 reassurance calls. There are some people we call once a month and they're okay because they have family nearby. There are some people we call every day. For our day program recipients, we've gotten to the point where educated many of them to be able to call in to go on Zoom. We have Zoom programs every day. We bring them packets so they can follow along. We delivered more than 175,000 meals on the only program that stayed alive, which was the Meals on Wheels program. And the only way to do that is because of the community that comes together. So Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we do and a life by what we give." I want to thank all of you in this room, all of the honorees, that you shared your life and continue to share your life with your community. Because without that, so many things would never be. I want to thank the sponsors, because without providing financial support, so many things could never be. And we're one of those things. Our agency has depended for the last 70 years on the kindness and the support of our community and our businesses. Because to be honest, nobody really wants to pay for poor old people. Right? But they need our support. Every adult has the right to age as independently as possible, to be treated with dignity and to be treated with respect. And it's the people in this room and hundreds of other people like the people in this room that make this possible. And I want to thank you. I want you to enjoy the day, enjoy the lovely weekend, and there's some amazing food waiting for you.